Hello and welcome to yet another Millennial Movie Talk review. This time for Ryan Johnson's Knives Out.
Stab you.
Oh, you got me.
And you too, stab.
Oh, yes, it's Braden, Alex, and Steph.
Hello.
We got invited to another preview.
Yeah, for a film that I've been so excited for.
Yeah.
Ever since I saw the ads. I think you showed me the trailer for it
The
way
original
back
trailer.
when, and I was so excited
Yeah,
from that.
I was just shocked that a film like that was getting made in 2019.
Yeah, murder mystery.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of the ladies that wrote a lot of them. What was her name?
Agatha Christie.
Agatha, yeah.
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 One
Yeah,
that wasn't
not
based
that.
on her thing.
And it's like, this is a completely original new...
It's all part of my original vision.
It's all part of my original vision. That's a George Lucas joke. Star Wars. Ryan Johnson. It all comes around. Ryan Johnson wrote and directed. I didn't know he wrote this one. I thought he only directed it, but
And produced.
then
Wow.
when at the end of the credits came up, I was like, damn, I respect you even more now. Tell you what, we're going to start with no spoilers first up.
And we're going to get to all spoilers.
Then we are going to get into all spoilers because it is a murder mystery.
Yeah.
It's a whodunit. Someone did it.
A lot of the review would revolve around how well they
Yeah,
executed the plot of that.
we really can't ruin that in the initial part. So, first things first. The performances we got here with these actors. Good lord.
A lot of great performances
they,
here.
My-
they were all good. I can't think of really a bad one.
Yeah, like,
I mean, there's some forgettable ones.
I mean, some characters
sure.
didn't have as
The-
much of a focus in the overall plot or anything. Like, some of them were very much like side characters of being like someone's wife or someone's husband or someone's child. Like, we saw a bit of that where just some people didn't get a lot of screen time because they weren't necessary.
Like
That's
the housemaid.
Yeah, the housemaid who actually like tidies stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't see a lot of them, but
And the
that's
wife
just how these
of-
stories go.
The wife
Yeah,
of
the wife of
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon.
From Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
One of the Swedish cops.
Yes.
Ah.
Bless. But yeah, I tell you what, let's just go down a bit of the list of some of the performances that stand out at least. I mean, first off, Daniel Craig.
Oh my god.
He's having so much fun.
That's
I was not
Southern
even excited
drawl.
for him. I don't even I haven't seen a James Bond movie. I haven't really seen anything Daniel Craig's
Nothing
been
Daniel
in.
Craig for a while, yeah.
So I wasn't even really excited. I was like, whatever. But
Okay.
he was a highlight for me.
Yeah, oh man, they really let him go to town on his character, and I respect that. Like the fact that they were like, okay, cool, yep, give us a southern drawl and make that the entirety of your character. I love that so much. And not to go into spoilers or anything, but like there is a big like going through of what really happened.
Yeah, the
And
big,
that
the big
entire
soul, the
that big
cliche.
end scene, very Sherlock Holmes and everything. Absolutely loved it. Like his performance in that is perfect.
I think he just had a lot of fun. With
Oh,
his
yeah,
character.
exactly.
It was
He's
just
having
fun.
the time of his life.
Yeah, I think it was just
So is everyone else, by the way.
yeah. I mean, everyone in this film is having a grand old time. I feel like maybe except for one of the main characters who we follow throughout the film.
I wasn't expecting that character to be like the main character.
No, not at all. I mean, why would you when you look at the rest of the cast?
I thought it was going to be Daniel Craig, but
Well, I mean, yeah.
Look, I just think it was fun. Like, is it something different to what he usually does, Daniel Craig? All right,
Yeah,
I didn't expect the
absolutely.
movie to be so comedic.
Yeah, oh, this film really comes at you with some actual humor that is
and most of
so
it's
unexpected.
smart humor too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like-
Subtle and
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Oh
gonna have to
my
watch it again.
God.
I'll probably pick up on some more things.
Yeah. Including some like excellent foreshadowing and everything
Yeah.
with one-off lines and stuff that you do not think of.
Are we going to the cast? Because I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was great in this.
Yes.
She
yeah.
was great.
Jamie Lee Curtis was awesome in
Yeah.
this.
It's like it's really fun. It's really great. Like the writing from a writing perspective to have so many memorable characters in an ensemble this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say when you've got a cast list like with this much power and it's like people still stand out, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Even her husband, Don Johnson.
Don Johnson, I tell you what, I haven't seen a lot of Don Johnson and stuff
neither.
before. I've been watching the new Watchmen series.
Django Unchained
Yeah, I know. I saw him in that, but like I've been watching the new Watchmen series.
Who
He's in that.
in Django. He's a plantation owner.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I tell you what, when his face popped up in this, I was like, oh, hey, I just saw him in Watchmen, and now he's in this. And my God, his character was excellent. He nailed it. He just fits that perfectly.
So I don't know. Should we just say who our absolute favorite actor or actress was, because
It's great segue to go into my favorite.
I think we need to give some quick more shout outs of people who didn't get your favorite. So who wasn't your favorite, but still you want to shout out?
Toni Collette was close.
Toni
Michael
Collette was
Shannon.
good.
I thought she was great. Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon, my God. So going so deep into a character where like he's like so creepy but like also funny.
yeah,
Oh man, he had way too much humor.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Lakeith Stanfield, absolute shout out. Him as playing the like straight cop detective.
yeah,
He nailed it.
and his cop friend, who I don't know the actor's name.
He was hilarious. He was very funny.
fanboy.
Noah Sagan. Sagan?
he was just a little fanboy the whole time.
Yeah, he was great.
Another shout out, Donald Sutherland. Is it Donald Sutherland? No, it's
No.
Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer. Him as the like old man who the guy dies.
Yeah,
That's what the whole film's about.
It's the
the
whodunit
murder
about
victim.
him.
Yeah.
And it's about his like fortune and everything. But the
was good.
scenes with him, excellent.
He was actually
He was
really,
very
really good.
likable.
Oh, very.
And him and a certain character, I felt like they had a really good chemistry and relationship.
Yeah,
I thought that was done really well.
they really nailed the character to character chemistries. Like with so
Yes.
much like tension with some people and so much like actual like kind-heartedness with others. Like this film nails it.
I feel
Yeah.
like we have two more to round out, so I think we'll have the same favorite.
We're definitely up there at least.
Catherine Langford,
Catherine
as
Langford
Toni
was
Collette's daughter.
there.
I
She
lo-
had a
do you
couple
know
of
what-
scenes.
Do you know what's so funny is that they could have just had their Australian accents
Yeah.
because like they're both Australian.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
That was a little bit weird, but I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
and
she was pretty good.
Michael
And Jaden
Lieber.
Lieber
from the Book of Henry.
yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, because we've got two. There are two that haven't been mentioned yet.
We
Yes.
just mentioned him.
No, like there are two that are going to be mentioned then in our favourites.
yeah. Basically.
Who's the other one?
Well, you'll
Oh,
find
sorry.
out because I think you're going to say the opposite to me.
Ooh. Let's see. All right.
So my favorite.
Or I don't know. Same at the same time, please.
3, 2, 1. Chris Evans.
Oh, I thought you liked the what's her face?
The Martha.
Nurse.
Martha.
Oh, the nurse.
We didn't really
mention her.
We didn't really shout her out.
She's so good in this.
She does an excellent job in this film. I don't want to give spoilers or anything into it, but she does do an excellent job with the part that she's given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The character's very well developed, and even though it has a very strange quirk, which
Yeah, she's got a certain condition that's kind of cool.
yeah, it is very weird, but it makes a murder mystery very interesting.
It
Yeah.
adds to the story. It's
Yeah.
there for a purpose.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Well, when we get into spoilers, I'll say that. But
Yeah.
actually, we'll just wait.
Well, Chris Evans.
Yes.
Ladies
oh
and
my
gentlemen.
My favorite
God.
character.
I mean, he steals the show.
It got to a point where I was like, I thought we were halfway. I was like, he hasn't been in this much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was so worried. I was like, I came here for Chris
Yeah,
Evans.
it's like there was a whole part of the trailer. It's like that's the whole like Chris Evans was like this smug rich kid. Like, what's going on?
living for that.
And then obviously he comes in and
He's
really
so
does
good.
steal the show in that sense.
He's just so like he's oddly likable.
He's
Likeable-
so likable. He was my favorite.
as in like an asshole kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
And like, yeah, he's just like out to watch his family, who they all talk shit about him.
yeah, and then
He's-
he's
he's just having a great time watching all this unfold.
oh man, he's having the most fun in this film.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that rounds out performances more or less. I want to give a quick shout out to setting because this whole clue board house that we've got,
Yeah.
They even mentioned
they're
that he
like,
lives in like a clue
the
board.
dude lives in a house that looks like it should be in Clue, and it's like, yeah, they've nailed it.
It was very reminiscent of a game of Cluedo.
Yeah.
I
That's
thought
what
it was just so well written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
That's what I was getting to next, yeah.
little things about it that like call back. Like everything matters in this movie.
Yeah, as much as you think something might be a throwaway line to give like a bit of flavor to a scene,
Yeah.
it's like later on, it's like, oh, that was
And
integral.
It's just so unique.
I wonder
Yeah.
how you'd go about writing a whodunit like this. Would you come up with the murder? Would you come up with the answers to everything and then work the storyline
Yeah.
around it?
You do a memento, work backwards.
You'd work backwards. That's what I think. You'd
I
have
was
to have it
gonna
all
say-
figured out and then come up with the little nuances to put in there to make it all come into place at the
Yeah,
end.
even if you just had like major plot points figured out, where it's like, all right, there's going to be this, and then there's going to be this major event, and then this is going to be the big reveal, and then you add flavor in between. I don't know how
It
writers
seems
do
like
it.
a really tricky thing to write.
Yeah,
And
like,
then
Lord
to
knows I couldn't.
execute it so well as what they've done
Yeah,
this time.
exactly right. And then also, speaking of the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Johnson, shout out to direction as well, because there are a couple times in this film where I was blown away with like the balls they had to actually do some stuff.
Some
Oh,
camera,
yeah.
some interesting camera choices. too,
Interesting
which I
camera
thought
work that really, really aid like certain scenes.
I just thought it was like even the editing was on point too.
Yeah, and
Like,
even editing in the sense of title cards.
yeah.
Like this, and we'll
Visual
also talk
gags.
about visual gags as well as like even just the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Like this film feels so like nice and old school.
Yeah.
Ah,
It
Like,
does.
But it's just like it's so unique. I just
Yeah.
want to keep saying how unique this movie feels. It was like a
So
breath of fresh air.
I was gonna say it's so refreshing just
for
to
an
have.
original story, it's not
And it's
based on
fun.
something.
It's extremely fun. It's got this wit and charm to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's charming.
It
It's
is
like
the-
watching an
charming
old. Ready? Are you ready? It's like watching like one of Guy Ritchie's older films.
Ooh.
Yeah, almost like
Yeah.
Like that's exactly right. There are so many twists and turns to it, and it's so I was gonna say unique and like nuanced and subtle, and
Yeah.
it
Like-
creating its own world really.
Yeah,
Like
it creates its own world perfectly.
I just can't get over like just the writing. I'm gonna keep bringing it up.
Yeah,
every
I think
every little detail matters.
that's why you guys said as soon as we finished, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna need to see that again for a while. But I was immediately thinking, I need to see that again. So
I want to
can
go and pick up
everything.
on all those really early nuances and everything.
That's right.
I think we are going to get into spoiler territory, folks. So
11 minutes is long enough. Definitely go see this movie. Should
Yeah.
we give ratings?
yes, we should definitely give ratings right now.
I'm going a full 5 out of 5.
5 out of
I'm sitting on a
5.
4.5 just because I just want to think about it for a little bit more.
This
Yeah.
has made my top
Ooh,
3 or 4 of the year.
Nice.
I'm
sure.
tossing up between to put this above Once Upon a Time or below it.
Okay, we'll have to catch up on that on the main show. So go and check that
Definitely not
out
as good as
on
Midsummer.
your podcast services
Not
everywhere.
as good.
Midsummer's my number 1.
I give
You're
it.
number 1 of the year.
I give
Yeah.
it a 4.5.
Yeah, I've given it 4.5
Yeah.
too.
I give it a 5
All right,
out of 5.
spoiler territory. Do not listen to this if you haven't seen Knives Out, because this will ruin the whole film.
Yeah, and you know what? This is one where like
This is one where
you literally, if you have not seen the movie, stop. And
Even
if
if
you're
you-
planning to go see it, stop.
You want to
Even-
enjoy this.
even if you know, like, if you have a friend who hasn't seen the trailer or anything, don't show it to them. Just go and take them, because it will make for such an enjoyable experience.
Can
Anyway,
I start
spoiler
off with
territory.
Can I start off with a minor spoiler?
Yes, go.
Just about the nurse's ability to throw up every time she lied.
Yes.
She couldn't tell the truth. So
Thanks
every
for
time
that,
she
Brayden.
lied, she
Sorry.
threw up.
When they,
I really thought what I was going to say beforehand, but
Yeah.
I stopped myself. Was like, I thought, wow, this is going to be a really easy whodunit because
Yeah.
she seems to know everything. So let's just go through every scenario, and when
Yeah,
she
exactly.
stops puking, like that's the end.
I'm going to say the first 20 minutes of this movie, how it's just interviewing each person. one
I
by
did
one.
love that. And
Yes.
how different stories didn't line up,
Yeah.
and how we saw the same shot of the cake going down with
Yeah.
different people. Oh, I loved it.
Exactly. I really loved all of that as well. I just think it was interesting that we were in on it. We knew who was lying. from
It
the
was-
start.
That was
We
great.
knew-
We had such an insight.
That
to
was
it.
one of the things that had me concerned throughout the whole film. Like,
Yes.
I was like, what? Huh? This isn't how who done. What? We know who. What? Like, I was so confused. So that when it did actually reveal some twists, it made it all worth it.
See, I was thinking when I was watching them lie,
Mm.
I thought, okay, this is too. My brain was thinking, all right, this is too obvious. I was enjoying it for the comedic effect that it
Yeah.
had, that they were saying one thing and we saw a very different thing
Yeah,
happening.
we
in
saw the
life.
real thing happening, and then the second it cut back to them, they'd say, "Oh, it was fine."
What I got worried about is when we found out exactly what happened
Yeah,
halfway through the movie, and I thought, oh, well, that's fantastic. I mean, now what?
yeah.
You know?
I was really concerned.
I was all for it though.
You were all for it.
I was worried.
That's
I
the
was-
only reason I gave it a 0.5 was because for most of the film I was really concerned, and then
Did it pay off?
by the end it did pay off. Thankfully.
Like I thought, like all right, spoiler. All right, ow.
We're in spoiler territory. Talk freely.
Major spoilers right here. Boom, boom, boom. We find out that about 40 minutes into the film.
Yeah.
I want to say that her name's like
Marta.
Marta.
actually gave Christopher Plummer the wrong dosage.
Yes.
It gave him 100
Thought
gram.
she mixed it up. She's just
100
got
grams of morphine.
100 milligrams. Let's
100
take it easy.
100 grams.
100
Nah, she was
milligrams.
down for a rough night.
Of morphine, and he died just from that.
Yeah, well, no, he
Well,
was going
he-
to die from that.
And then he tried, being a murder mystery writer, which I love the
They
irony
discussed
of that.
it. Yeah,
He told
he
her
figured out how to get her out of it
because
of being
he knew that she was
a
wholesome. And
yeah,
didn't
and
mean to
didn't
do
want
it.
her
He's
being a
he's
suspect.
the only person. He's like.
She's the only person who's nice to him.
Yeah, and he liked.
Yeah,
I just-
because
He
his
was his
family's
only friend.
assholes.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's the thing. What did Jamie Lee Curtis do?
Well, nothing. She
She was fine.
Yeah, she was actually fine.
Yeah, she was
But-
just getting cheated on.
Yeah, she was getting cheated on. That was her whole character.
But like when they find out that she gets all the money,
Oh man,
She
they
was like-
snap.
I don't blame them.
Well, I don't blame her. I blame everyone else.
yeah,
I think personally,
especially Toni Collette, who's not even like she's
Oh.
married into the family.
yeah, Toni Collette. I did not like. But all right, we're on different sides of this because I could not stand Marta for most of the film. After
thought-
I found out that she had killed him, and then they were gonna cover up the murder, I thought she better not get away with this. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I did kind of love for a second that her and Chris Evans were teaming up.
I loved that.
It was-
That's the only minute I was like, if she better be giving Chris Evans his half because otherwise, this bitch, I'm gonna.
I think it really walks a really good line of going in between constantly. Like you're constantly stuck in this bit of motion where Marta is suddenly stuck having to do what appears to be the wrong thing, but then because she is quite kind-hearted and everything, she ends up telling the truth to everyone anyway.
I just thought
Yes.
there was so like I mean her getting all the inheritance and not deciding to give it back. Like it led to the great scene where Michael Shannon confronts her outside the house.
that was terrifying.
And he was like, "Look, if you like."
Yeah,
give us the
we'll
inheritance.
help
we'll
you with our
We'll get you
resources."
all these resources, all these great lawyers.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can get that anyway now if I
Yeah.
keep the inheritance and get
That-
me out of this.
and I know, Steph, you didn't like that because you thought she was being a bit of a bitch.
yes,
But my thought process behind that
But
entire scene...
she got given the money. Why wouldn't she
No,
take it?
my thought process behind that entire thing was with him being there quite literally to kind of threaten her, convince her.
Oh, with the walking stick?
Oh, they were scary, my man. That entire sequence where she's like, well, those are my resources now and everything, and then quickly running inside was just to get away
now
from him.
this is getting a little bit political.
Here we
I'm
go.
asking from a
Okay, Jaden
I'm
Libra.
asking from a neutral standpoint. She was an illegal immigrant.
Yes. No, her mother was.
Her mother
Yes, but so then
So
by,
then,
Doesn't
by
make her-
happenstance,
was
there's-
she born in America?
I don't know the
no,
legalities
she had
of
an
this.
accent. She wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the legalities of this. I don't know when her mother moved. I don't know when she was born. I don't know how old she is. Legalities
But they
of
never made it seem like she was going to be
People in
deported.
America.
They only made it seem like the mother was going to be deported.
But maybe they
Yes.
were just hitting her weak spot because she had an accent. You know, they hadn't been living in America that long by
Maybe
the
it was
sounds
just
of it.
the act.
I'm not
So
too sure.
the way I see it, I thought a better way that Michael Shannon should have done that is saying, "If you don't give us the inheritance, we're out and your mother." Like that's what I would have been
That's
doing.
what they said.
Well, I thought he was sort of making it seem like we could
he was
help you.
he was playing it in that way to
But
try and still be
it
a
was definitely
good
like if
guy.
he was like the subtext to it
Subtext
was,
of the
was
scene was
you give us the money and it was if you give us the money and if this ever does come out we will help you.
Yeah.
If you don't we're gonna out you.
yeah.
I
that
was
was
just-
that was what I was reading.
So
I'm not disputing that Marta was a nice person.
Yeah.
But I think that if I was in any of the the family members' position,
Yeah.
and I found out that the help had been given, who
Yeah,
was his,
yeah,
one
you
of his
would.
friends, I would be freaking
Well,
out.
yeah.
I'd be freaking out. Like they're left with
Absolutely.
nothing. After
Yeah.
being supported this whole time, they're left with nothing. That's not how they're gonna. You know what I mean?
no,
Yeah.
absolutely fair. Like you would be mad, but at the same time, looking from this character's perspective, like, yeah, you would be.
The
I
thing
feel
is,
guilty.
we're also looking from the outside in where we're going, oh wow, yeah, all of this stuff.
most of them are horrible
I
people.
still do not like 80% of this family. 80% of this family, some of them literally right-wing Nazi racists.
Yes.
Like, what?
I know, but then I can't help but think about.
And some swindling out of their grandfather's money or whatever.
I can't help but think about how they were brought up. Like, I don't know what sort of a role that
I
played on
mean,
how they
yeah.
turned out when they were not adult.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I just don't understand. I mean, look, obviously it was plot device and everything like that, but I
Yeah.
just think that, I don't know, I just think that she should have given most of the money back to the family.
Yeah,
it
it's
shouldn't have
very
been a thing
complex.
where she was even considering it. Like, they should have just, to leave this whole family without anything after the, you know, like, I would just not do
it's
I wouldn't do
very,
that.
very weird.
And then she did redeem herself when she admitted to the family the whole thing, and then we're given the big
Reveal.
twist
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I-
overall, it does tie up nicely.
I didn't like her because I just think she played the whole I'm so clueless and innocent, and I know that I killed this man, but it wasn't intentional, and now I've got all this money
Yeah.
after I
I wouldn't
killed
say she
this
was
man.
clueless.
She was trying to cover things up, right? That was
Yeah,
all.
she was.
Yeah,
she knew
that was-
exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
She's like, we need to go get the medical records.
Mainly because of the sense of she didn't want her mother to get deported.
More so
Yeah,
that
and I
she
think
was
she was
playing this
what-
clueless person to the cop, is what I mean.
Yes.
She
Well,
was
she had to.
Yeah, I know she had to.
That was literally-
that's why I'm saying I didn't like her
That's
character because
what the old man told her to do.
she inherited this money knowing that, thinking that she killed this guy.
Yes.
That's what bugged
yeah,
me.
She still 100% thinks that she killed him.
And she was still considering to take the inheritance. And
Yeah.
that is what annoyed me.
I actually think that she was going to take it, but still, like, keep Michael Shannon the head of the CEO of the.
I feel like, obviously we don't know these things. These aren't things they brought up in the film.
Yeah, but like, I feel like
But-
she's the kind of person that'd be like, yeah, I'm going to take control of all this, but Michael Shannon, you've got your job back. Like,
Yeah.
you're CEO.
I was going to say, he should
She was
be
gonna
happy
ma-
with
She
that.
was definitely going to keep paying for Meg's school.
Yeah. She wouldn't have kept paying the extra bit of what the mum was swindling out of them.
Yes, that's true. I didn't like Tony Collette's
Oh,
character.
no, she was
I didn't like her character, but I loved how she played the character.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was a good
She
actress.
played it excellently. The character can die in a pit. Like, that's a horrible human.
Please note, my dislike for Marta is also fueled by my bias because
Towards Chris Evans.
love Chris Evans
Yeah.
to death.
Man,
Can we
tell
talk
you-
about that? Can we
Tell you
talk
what, the reveal of...
The vomit on the face. Sorry, if we just
the vomit on
Ew.
the face.
that, I was so shocked by that. I thought she was still alive. I was like, wow, I was happy. And then when she was just turned out, she was just playing, like,
so
messing with it.
legit, I loved that twist within the twist.
At
Like,
least she didn't have to spew on him though.
well, I know. I mean, she could have like spewed on his shoes or
What did she
something.
eat?
But I mean, it was very chunky and very like red and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrid. But I tell you what, like that twist of like we know this about her. So when he was monologuing and she hadn't vomited or anything, you're just in being like, oh my god, like she's fine, like they were gonna be okay, and he now thinks that everything's alright, so he's just saying everything anyway. And then when she vomits, it's that instant going, oh my god, no,
Yeah. What's the last
she was
thing that
lying.
she said
She
that
was,
she
she's
could be
dead.
lying about?
She just got him to confess. Like that's excellent, excellent,
Excellent.
excellent, bruv.
I mean, it's excellent because it was
Excellent.
really gross as well.
Yeah, it was very gross.
So, but yeah, I'm sad that Chris Evans got taken away, done for murder.
Yeah.
Hopefully he got. I like to think he got a good lawyer to keep him out of it.
I tell you what, though,
No, he's gone to jail.
this was my thing that I was wanting to bring up finally. Because we talked about the twists and we talked about the like real performances of everyone like lying and stuff like that. I want you to now pick your favorite scene.
Oh, come on, man.
Pick your favorite scene.
It's hard to go past.
My
'cause-
favorite scene was the will reading.
The will reading.
Yeah, when
Okay.
they.
That was good.
That was good.
That was good. Because
And then Chris Evans
all of
is
the
just there.
reactions,
And
him smirking in the background.
Exactly. And can I cheat a little bit and extend the scene to when she starts running out
No,
and they do the shaky
sorry.
camera and then Chris Evans pulls up and he's like, this might be the best thing to have happened
That's
to you.
that's a sequence, not a scene.
Yeah.
Please allow it, Brayden.
In a chapter select, it would be within the scene.
Thank you.
In a chapter select,
I'll
if
take
you were
it.
like, oh, part 14, it wouldn't get to part 15 until when they're
After Chris
now
Evans takes
driving.
off.
Yeah.
Because I love that he just pulls up. And
I
he's
can
like,
agree with that. I want to put it in because I did love that part.
Thank you.
That was a good bit. Alex, yourself?
What's yours?
Or mine? Oh, man. I tell you what, when Daniel Craig rolls up them sleeves, he's taking the jacket off, he's like, bring him in. I'm here to bust it.
Yeah.
I was there 100%. That was my favorite thing overall. Obviously, it's kind of like, it's the whole thing of him talking back, being like, but you haven't got evidence towards that. This is just your word. And it's like, oh, yeah, that is just our word. Except for this. And then they present something else. And
That I agree. That's mine.
oh, man, that entire sequence, like, it was from the second that Daniel Craig took his jacket off, I was like, here we go.
I like how the big reveal wasn't so convoluted either. Like, it wasn't a far reach.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, but what about this? And you're like, all right, what a crocker. Like, I've just sat through all this.
Everything there made sense, even in
Yes.
the sense of like when you look back at literally the sequences we've seen already, but like they're showing it in a different light where all of a sudden it was like, oh, so we saw her break in and do the whole thing, but then when Chris
But
Evans' character
It
does
explains why, like, the thing probably snapped off because it was already a week from him standing on
it. Yeah,
it.
things like that. Like,
Yeah.
and how like they, throughout the entire film, you totally forget that early on in the film, they're like, oh, and then the dogs barked around 3.
Yeah.
Like, you completely forget about that. And then right at the very end, when the reveal, they drop, like, he was going to go back and swap it back so they couldn't tell. And that entire, and then the fact that he wasn't at the funeral because he had to go do that. Oh, man, I loved it.
I am very sad that she mixed up that he thought he was gonna die.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that
really
is-
sad.
that
I just
is-
wish he didn't die.
And, oh, but it's worth it for the line of, but you're a good nurse. Like, oh, that got my heart. Like, the fact that she as a character, like, picked up the right one without even looking at the label
Yeah.
because
She knew
clearly
the consistency and the
yeah, she was actually a good like she thought, you know what, I'm an average nurse, but I'm being this guy's friend.
Yeah.
Like, and then
she was a good nurse.
when at the end he's just like, no, you're a good nurse. You did the right thing. Like you did the right thing without even thinking. Like you can't feel guilty for what happened then because you acted naturally as you would in that situation.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she did redeem herself in the end, but also poor Chris Evans. Poor Chris Evans.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he did try to stab her.
Like if Chris Evans came up to
how
any
good
of you
was
and
that
committed
when it turns
That-
out it was a fake knife?
Oh man, and that harkening back to the one line throughout the entire film, one line being like him being like, "Oh yeah, I can't tell what's a real knife and what's a fake knife in this house. I got so much stuff." Basically that.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the film to take place, and then for that to be integral, that's just ridiculous.
And I just love them making use of all those crazy knives in that chair.
Yes. Oh man, that one shot.
Take a backseat Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh
And
man.
Daniel Craig sitting down.
Daniel
on it.
Craig, when Daniel Craig finally sits down in it, it's just like, yes. And when he said the words "knives out,"
I would like to know what I don't think it meant anything, but I was curious as to why he was pushing the piano. I was wondering. I was like, is that a thing? Like I was waiting for that to come back. but
Maybe it
didn't
was
come
just
back.
like something he did so they could get back on track.
Yeah, I
with
think
the
I
questions,
think
or like ask his question.
that's what. Well, I think what I was gathering from it was always at times when the person who was being interrogated or whatever
Was going off
question
on a tangent.
was really starting to go out and get them distracted, and like when they got the other guy distracted on like Hamilton and stuff like that. I think it was sequences like that
Yeah,
where
same,
he would
I
just
agree.
be like, "Ding," like
Oh,
as
draw the
as
attention
to
back
throw
to the
everyone
fact
back
that-
and be like, "Oh," and then they go, "Oh, where were we?" And then they go back to questioning. I think it was that.
That's very
But it
smart.
was very good. Of like the entire first 20 minutes of the film, he's just out of focus in the background.
And everyone's like, yeah, who?
And
who
then
is he?
the final like actual call out of when like Tony Collette's like, "Wait, who the fuck's that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's anything else we can really say.
I think we covered weirdly majority of it.
How long did it go for?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Felt pretty long,
I
but
thought-
like at no point was I like, "Oh, this is
I was
dragging."
hooked for the whole film.
I
was on
mean,
the edge of my
in
seat.
Stephanie time, I went to the bathroom once.
Yeah, why?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said at the end.
Yeah, I
Two
went
didn't
hours and
notice.
10 minutes.
Ooh, okay. Wow, really?
Yeah.
They felt like they fit a lot in there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so I went to the bathroom once, and considering like I
When
went
did you
during.
go?
I went just
Oh, you
as
missed
they
the
went to
scene-
grab the joints.
You missed the scene where they told her, like Michael Shannon said, "Well, we all agree that like when we get the inheritance, we're gonna look after you still."
Oh,
well,
yeah.
all right. You know
Goodness.
what? That would not have helped the case that I should have liked.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, the only thing you would have been slightly confused about would have been like the stash.
Yes, that they keep the joints
I-
in the clock.
I knew that they had that because as soon as they pulled them out, I'm like, oh, I thought that they were just gonna have like a little talk, so
Right.
I left, and I came back when Benoit was like, oh, I want you to come with me, and
Yeah, when he's sitting outside in the shadow
Yeah.
and all the cigar smoke goes
Yeah,
out.
so good.
Oh, I love it.
it's
All right.
got such a feel to it, doesn't it? Anyway,
Yeah,
27 minutes.
I think we'll round it out there.
We'll knife it out there.
I hope you guys enjoyed Knives Out as much as we did.
Really enjoyed it, and go see it coming out this Thursday.
if you have
Yes.
disagreements, what can they do if they have disagreements?
Shout them in the comments and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, if you scream really loud, we might hear you.
Yeah. Also, go and follow us on Patreon if you want to keep up to date with all of our commentary tracks
And Instagram and Twitter.
extra stuff, and follow us on social medias and stuff, and go check out the main show, which is every fortnight. I think that about covers it. So
Sounds like most of the stuff we do.
yeah, thank
Get,
you all
get
for
ready for our final episode of Kitchen Ramsay's. coming
Yeah,
up.
Gordon
Kitchen
Ramsay's Kitchen
Ramsay's.
Nightmares commentary tracks, season 1, episode 10. Oh my god, it's almost over. But and then Mandalorian, we're also doing reviews
It's
for.
everything, the whole 9 yards.
Man, but thank you all for joining us, and as always,
I'm Alex.
I'm Steph.
I'm Mike. Cool.
No, you're not. You're Braden.
I finished what normally goes in the sequence. That was weird. Can we try that again?
Yeah.
All right, wait. I'm gonna fade the music back there. Okay, let's fade the music
ready,
back up.
And take 2.
And as always,
I'm Alex.
I'm Steph.
I'm Brayden.